So many microphones.
Come on, get into it.
I do have a confession to make. I had a PowerPoint presentation with images and all that, and on my USB stick, and when I brought it here and tried it on the laptop, it said file corrupted. So I've been staying up last night just making image files to have some visual cues. Hopefully we'll just generate some discussion to fill an hour. And for today I mostly have cartoon related stuff, but we can talk about anything we want. And tomorrow we have another hour, so we can continue if there's something. And I did manage to bring something special for you guys, so hopefully this will make up for everything. It'll be downhill from this on. This will be the highlight. So
good start.
Yes, be prepared. But hopefully the audio will be. What program do you use?
Oh god, this isn't going to work. Open with.
Okay.
You just can't play.
Do you have VLC player? No.
That should work, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Just hit okay.
Okay. Let's try it out.
Oh no, you crashed it.
Yes.
It's not porn, is it, Jukka?
Oh, hang on. Is this supposed to be audio?
The voice is not coming through for some reason. It's. Let's see. Okay.
Take two.
Well, was it muted on the different output for that? You had wave, you unmuted, you didn't unmute.
There's still no audio.
We'll get this sorted. Come here.
It's your computer.
Yeah, I know.
The audio device is not working.
Oh no. Oh, this bad boy.
Yeah.
Has it muted again? I didn't.
What?
No, it was
how
something
did
you
you
only
get on
unmuted
music?
wave.
Oh right. Okay.
Bad James.
Let's just unmute everything.
Okay. And now it's going to be really loud.
If you want the
And
volume.
I wanted to actually ask if you could say something like a sound clip that I could then record and take to the German convention and play it, who you are, and any greetings to the German fans.
Yeah, absolutely. You mean you want me to explain Flyer Rider? I could say eine Flasche Bier, bitte schön. Ein Stück Brötchen, bitte schön. I know how to ask for bread and beer in Germany, but I don't know if that'll help. But that's nothing to do with email. I just want to say to everybody at the convention, you know, I'm so pleased that everybody is fans and talks about the show, and you know, whether you prefer the 80s version or the 2002 version, or you like both, or you like one better than the other, or you like the comic books, or you like collecting the figures. I think it's all great, and I'm a fan of the fans. I really admire you people who are keeping, you know, the He-Man line and the mythos alive, and you know, care enough about it to meet each other, and I think it's great. I'm a fan of that, and I even if I can't be there in body, I'm there in spirit, and I just want to say a big hello to everybody, and ich bin ein He-Maner, which probably says where's the bathroom, but I thought I was saying I am a He-Maner, but that probably doesn't make any sense. But I just want to say hello.
Thank you very much for that. I will use every.
That was the lamest thing. that was the lamest thing ever.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Dean Stefan, the writer and story editor for the 2002 show, and he was a very good chap with just. This was recorded for a podcast that is a Masters of the Universe related podcast that I think is debuting September 1st, the Global Masters. I was paid to say that, so. But actually, just last night, I got a bit lucky and received another clip. Hopefully this might be a bit...
Council is in Captain Randor.
Captain Randor.
Please forgive the intrusion. Keldor and his forces are moving on the capital. In the meantime, this is Michael Donovan, the voice of Captain Randor, saying, welcome all to the Grayskull-Convention here in Germany!
Yeah, so that was the highlight. Don't blame anyone if they want to leave after this. I did an interview with Michael Donovan at around May, and he answered some questions, and I posted them on HE-MAN.org, and it's
very nicely done.
Yes. There will be more interviews that I will be posting on HE-MAN.org, and let's try this.
Apparently they found that hilarious.
Okay, your Photoshop is currently opening it.
Oh,
okay, I was not expecting that.
Extras?
Do you have the picture viewer that I could use, or
Right click.
like I want to use the slideshow, but I want to be able to control when the slide changes. So let's see. This is very professional working in here.
Okay, I left a march to get there.
Okay. Can I make it any bigger?
Probably not. I think that's the thing I was dealing with.
Okay, well, let's try this. Yes, I wanted to credit everyone who's helped me with anything related to the 2002 He-Man cartoon and comic, scanned images, or heard about some information, or seen some small tidbits in DVDs, and I've used them in my blog, and not sure if everyone has seen it, so some bits I may use here as well, but hopefully this should be a bit new stuff, and it's okay. So He-Man and Masters of the Universe, what we're talking about.
Never seen it.
In the year 2000. Yes. And 2001 in San Diego Comic-Con we got the toy releases, or the prototypes, or not. You were there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the prototypes.
These are your pictures.
Oh.
It has the old HE-MAN.org logo there.
Oh wow, I still remember that weekend too. That was crazy.
Yeah, you should talk about it somewhere, like in a convention.
Just make up a story.
No, I remember because had my long ponytail then. I remember I was super excited, and there wasn't really anybody doing toy reporting for He-Man then. There wasn't all the toy sites like there is now. And I was there, and I had just bought a digital camera specifically for that weekend. It was a whopping 1.2 megapixels. I mean, just super high quality. And there was no Wi-Fi uploading, any of that stuff. And when I got to convention, I realized I didn't have any way to get the information off the awesome 32 megabyte card I bought to put in there for these pictures. And so I ran to an Office Depot that was 3 blocks away, and they had one card reader left on display, and I talked the deal from the guy working there to let me have it in exchange for an extra Pro Pass I had to get into the convention. So he gave me the display model. I ran back to the convention, took the pictures as soon as they were, and just ran back to the hotel room and tried to edit them and post them as fast as I could. It was exhausting, but it was actually a lot of fun. I miss those days of all the, just running around like crazy trying to get pictures posted and everything. But it was a lot of fun being there and seeing those new toys when they were revealed. A lot of fun.
Thank you for filling up some dead space. That's why I brought you here. Yeah, and they had at the booth this painting of He-Man and by Ken Kelly and the
cat eyes.
Yes, the infamous cat eyes and I think some fangs as well. We'll try and take a closer look because I always love comparing stuff, just images and releases and variants and all that. I'm just nitpicky about some detail stuff. So here's a bit better image, and it's unfortunately very, very small. I'm sorry about that. Does the projector get any, or do we actually need to move it to get a bigger?
Push button, the third one from the left.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one?
No.
Is it big? Oh.
Okay, that didn't help.
We can work with that.
Okay. And yeah, in this, it was the one that had the cat eyes, and He-Man has a very.
Click on that symbol next to it.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, but
oh no, that.
Yeah, that starts the slideshow.
Okay.
And I can't then. Okay. And yeah, you can see in this, it's a very early image from Ken Kelly that is commissioned from him, and there's a Snake Mountain on the left, which is, I think, toy-based or his own imagination. It's actually kind of interesting looking with those towers and big snake, and then Castle Grayskull on the right side is well, very toy-based, and I actually like it. The small harness on He-Man is the one that I've heard many complaints, and also the cat eyes. And not sure if people have seen a lot of Ken Kelly's art, but the style here, the background is well, it's not unique. He has done. In 1993, there was a trading card image that had this barbarian warrior and even the similar cats, and so not sure if it was a rush job because of him using this planet or moon, or what would you call that?
I call it a moon.
Giant bowling ball.
So yeah, I'm not sure if people have seen this. It's one of those fantasy painting trademarks, kind of like scantily clad babes and whatnot. But yeah, the image was also used in the VHS tapes with the toys, and I think this is from the back cover. And at one point I was looking a bit closer that He-Man's hair is slightly longer.
You can't actually see it.
Oh, damn. I tried making it better. I had a bit enhanced the image. Hopefully you'll see it's flowing on the He-Man's right side and just...
Well, he has the braids in the front too.
Yeah, and I don't know what version is this. I mean, it's only found on the VHS tapes.
It was the original design that Ken Kelly did. He had to paint over it.
Okay.
Because it was based on the original Four Horsemen head sculpt that they eventually translated and used later for King Grayskull. But that was the original He-Man head.
Yeah, I've tried to search into that, and I only recently found this image. And
that's nice though. I didn't catch that. Very nice.
Thank you.
Nice catch.
Thank you for the information. Yeah, and but the image itself, this is from the scanned actually from the puzzle box that is also, I think, here at the convention, and there's a lot of room, and I like it. But the next time it would be seen, I think, was on the Power Sword, and there they had done the changes for the eyes. They're no longer cat eyes, and the teeth are more normal, and hopefully that shows up. It's the sun is hitting the screen. Damn it!
We can't stop the sun.
And from there on they used this image, but then they made even more changes. That had the symbol was now the H, and if you look at He-Man's belt, there's red colored on those parts of it, and then they also added the cartoon version of the Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, and this is from the PlayStation 2 cover art, and I also should have here a comparison so you can see all the, and yeah, it's some parts I like and some are just I think those the cartoon background images were just photoshopped on top of that. Those not much, because they have their own colors and everything. They're not made to match the mood or anything. The similar image and pose can be found in the Game Boy title screen, which is nice. And also one of the Kmart, when the figure was released, they had those trading cards. And you guys, Emiliana, and you did also the similar pinup. Unfortunately, I don't have the image right here. It was part of the corrupted files, so, but that's where we come to the first ever PR image of He-Man and Battlecat and Skeletor. So it had a journey to get to this point, and yeah. Let's see what we have next. Comparisons. I'm surprised by myself what I have here. Yeah, these are I really like the early trailers that we got, and I do have them with me, but they're not on this right here. I'm not sure if everyone's seen them. There was the Comic-Con trailer and then the first teaser trailer. And here you can see that the statue is completely different, and also the animation bits are a bit more, well, it's murky. And on the top you have Mechanic behind Randor, but then in the final version it becomes Stratos. Not sure. Oh, damn it, you can't see that. Yeah. Well, this yeah, should be a fun experience. Okay, well, let's see. The backgrounds are changed, and originally I see Rama was much bulkier, and then Mechanic was a bit more squanted. Not sure how they got to that design choice. All part of the beginning parts that they used. We see in the trailer they had on the top, it was the angle is a bit more dynamic. I think I like it more, and the contrast works. Though it could be just the video file that I have, which is like real media done by John Callis. And I tried asking him for the original raw video material, but he says it's in his CDs and he can't find it. So hopefully one day it will find its way to internet and in better quality. There's also the faces are different, as you can hopefully see. It doesn't show this one. Oh, damn it. Takes the whole fun out of this. And especially in this shot, Ram Man has whites around his eyes, but in the final version he has simply the black pupils. And which is interesting that with the guards they changed it, that the guards also had white pupils and whites around the eyes, and beard got lost on the one that is on the right. The expressions got a bit simple in the final animation, which again is a shame. I have no idea where the original footage, if they discarded it or something. Does anyone know? Cartoon expert?
No, not really.
That's the difficult part with these, because I think Mattel has it if they have. And the shield also, the activation was done differently. It had a complete different design on the inside, and just a yellow light going up, and they pimped it for the final one. There's a camera angle were a bit different, and from this, you really can't see. Well, in the top image, Man at Arms is more squatting with his pose, and but here's one that got through mostly for the final animation, and the resolution difference is just staggering when you get to see the clear image. So that's why I would really love to see the original trailer in better resolution. And here's some differences that I've come across just because in the Cartoon Network version of many of the episodes, they later did changes as they brought the episodes from 1 to 3. The introduction was changed, and then starting from episode 4 there was another change, and the biggest one that is actually is around episode 16 when in America they had it was a summer break or something. Not sure if you guys remember it. I can't count on you on any of this.
You're doing well yourself, keep going.
Yeah, there was a break during season 1, and the introduction was radically changed, and that was the one that we ended up on the US DVDs, and one that was used for Europe as well. And it's a shame there is no different the earlier versions on DVD. It's just the Cartoon Network releases. You can find them on YouTube if you search hard enough. I can have some of those files, but not here with me. So, but going also from the trailer, there's a notice that Panther had pupils originally, and they got removed for the final version. It's
let's grab this and go. There's his pupil.
Yes, thank you.
There's his yellow eyes. Use that as your stick.
These captures are from episode 7, Lessons. It's one of my favorite episodes, written by Larry D. Tilio, and it's actually one of those episodes that should be higher on people's top 10 lists, but I never see it there. And I can't imagine why. People always pick something like Power of Grayskull and the 3-parter episodes, but Lessons, it was the first time that we got He-Man and Skeletor battling at the gate of Castle Grayskull. I mean, that's huge in its own. And right after Skeletor had learned the entire, secret or there's something mysterious about Castle Grayskull, so he wants in. And it was the first episode that also felt like, oh, thank you, that felt like your Filmation episode, that it's a battle between good and evil, and Castle Grayskull is the ultimate goal. Before that, the story had been building up to that point, and later in episode 8, Man-at-Arms has to explain to the heroes what the deal is. And but yeah, so on the left side is the Cartoon Network version, and on the right is the DVD. That is same for European releases and the American. And they, in this, probably very hard to see again, but He-Man has been removed or added in the DVD version, and probably mostly for the composition, for the actual of how Skeletor uses the Ramstone to create the creature, and He-Man was standing way too close to it, so I said it wrong way. It's they added him so it would look more menacing or something. It actually doesn't make sense now that you stop and think about it. And there was a panning shot of Skeletor confronting Orko during the episode, and they changed the whole mood because in the beginning of you can't even see Orko, and when it goes to the right, it has Skeletor just all the way on the side. Can you see anything?
I think maybe skip the ones that you can't see.
I need to skip a lot of them.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
just skip it. It's fine. Just skip it. That's some rocks. Go.
Yes, it's part of the whole Evelyn going after the Ramstone. It was originally 2D animation, and then they later made it painted background, and the arm it was lighter originally, and they made it a bit more to fit the terrain as she lands on there. So it looks much nicer on the DVD version, but it's interesting to see how it was originally animated. And here, the cropping on the DVD, you can't see any movement on He-Man's when he talks to Skeletor. The teeth are not showing. It's an awesome detailed image, and they enhanced some of the bits, which again you probably can't see. They added more shadow beneath the eyebrows and just makes it look awesome. The terrain is changed as well from the top right side. There's a more barren wasteland in the DVD version. And the castle also, in the eyes there are just more, the eye sockets are made black, and they added on the terrain or the roof some grass.
Grass?
Oh, some green stuff. And this is the one that people may have seen online, as I posted many years ago, the first big differences in how the lighting effects were done. In Cartoon Network version, the lights were very bright right when the scene starts. In DVD, it takes its time, and until He-Man lifts up his face, it goes bright, and it then goes some color mood or overlay. It makes He-Man look completely white when it looked a bit more natural in my eyes. And also the shadows are different. It's more accurate in the DVD version of where the light source is actually coming from than on the TV. And here's the one that, again, the details will be lost, but I'll try to explain that. Battlecat originally had, when he appeared healthy after Zoar, the sorceress, magically healed him, the little bits and pieces of magic dust. So that was removed in the DVD version, and I don't understand why. Also, the terrain is a bit different. There's darker bushes on the TV version, and they made them lighter on DVD. This is a bit more drastic, that you may be able to see that it's the perspective behind Sorceress is completely, all the character animation is still the same. The backgrounds are changed, so now it looks more from the Orko's angle of him looking up at Sorceress, and makes it more vibrant. When they were panning away from the characters at the end of the episode, they also updated the design of Castle Grayskull. I'm not sure if there's any reasoning behind that. I've tried sending Ian Richter some Facebook messages. He never responded back.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to get him on Roast Google at some point.
I talked to him the other day, so.
Are you still okay with Ian Richter?
Yeah.
I don't like Ian Richter, for the record.
Why don't you like him?
Because I didn't get credit for the cartoon when I worked on it.
Tell your story.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my story. So anyway, back in 2001... that seems alright.
He's a robot.
I'm not, honestly. Okay, so back in 2001, it was like December of 2001, I was contacted by Mattel, myself and Zedek Angel, who used to run the He-MANische episode review website. And Mattel just gets in touch with us, this guy Ian Richter, and he's like, hey, we're working on a new He-Man cartoon. I think you'd already heard about this. He's always in the know. And I thought, oh, this sounds pretty good. And they were like, would you be up for writing a Filmation guide, like to every single thing that ever happened in the Filmation cartoon? I thought, yes, okay, that's something I probably would do anyway, so I might as well get paid to do it. It wasn't that. When I look back about how much I got paid, it's ludicrous, it's embarrassing. But, it was just the opportunity to think, oh, I actually worked on the 2002 cartoon. So me and Zedek wrote this massive guide that was going to be...
Should we believe what is said on your IMDb page, what you got paid?
Does it say what I got paid on there?
$1,000.
Yeah, I got $1,000. Yeah, Dom.
How did that show up on the IMDb page?
It wasn't me. Someone knows and has posted that, but that wasn't me. Maybe it was Richter just rubbing it in.
I got to see your guide.
You got to see, yeah, because we compiled this ridiculously huge guide, and we submitted it to Mattel in like HTML format. So they had to use a web browser to browse it, and it did a job. And some of the writers used it, and most probably didn't even look at it, and it probably got binned in the end. But the one thing I was promised was they said, oh, we'll give you a credit, and I thought, oh, fantastic! At the end of the show, I was like, what credit will we get? And it was like, you'll probably get something like with special thanks to, or just something along those lines. So like when the beginning aired, I don't know if I watched it like a day or two later. Via the old site, was it file sharing websites? Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, wow, that was the greatest hour of cartoons I've ever seen. I keep watching the credits roll, and I'm like, this is, any second now my old name's going to show up. Oh, they've got Michael Halper in there, and there's the copyright date. That's usually at the last credit. What the fuck, where's my name? And then that was the end, and then I was like, I hate this cartoon forever. And then Val asked me to write the encyclopedia, and I was like, damn it, Val. So yeah, it was. But ironically, like years later, Mattel via Scott, I can never pronounce his surname, Toy Guru, asked me to submit the guide again, which I no longer have. That's the line I'm taking. So yeah, that was my experience with the 2002 cartoon. As to why these changes were made, I have no idea whatsoever. That's it. Back to you, Jeremy.
It's a nice story.
It's a terrible.
It's a nice.
Define nice.
Not for the ramifications, naturally, but a good anecdote. Well done.
Thank you.
Recently I had an interview with character designer Linnell Forstall, who works on Warner Brothers currently. He did the character design for Faceless One and Count Marzo and Evil Seed. He mentioned during this short interview he probably didn't want to be hassled about any He-Man stuff or something, but I kept sending him messages. And then the one interesting point that I'm bringing up here is that when I asked what characters he would have liked to design but didn't get to chance, was that he wanted to make more designs for the blue people, or the Gar. And he said basically that Cyclone is the Asian equivalent in his mind from the blue people, and he would have liked to add Shakoti there. And it was a pitch that he did, and unfortunately it didn't get very far with the director, and but it was something that he and Ian, they were talking a lot because they remembered the Filmation episodes and they were fans of it.
Keep going.
And they wanted to like that. That's why there's at least according to him, we have people like Count Marzo and Evil Seed because those guys remembered them and wanted to bring them. And James sighs.
Well, no, because I've still got the emails to this day from Ian Richter saying, "Can you tell us about Count Marzo? Can you tell us about Evil Seed?" I've still got those emails, so you know.
Yes, so this is the one of those that kind of like Gary Hart. Gary Hart.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I know, it's like, mother puss bucket. back to you, sir. Sorry.
No, it's one of those interesting that when you get to chance to talk with a lot of the people involved, they have their own visions of what could have been, kind of like Daniel had recently mentioned in Roast Google about the Gary Hartle, the director, on what his plans would have been for She-Ra and Queen Marlena being half Gar, and a lot of interesting stuff that I asked about Dean, and he doesn't know anything about it, and it's yeah, I'm not sure how the information worked there.
I think it's just that, like you said, everybody had their own ideas and concepts. They probably pitch around in a group, and then eventually whatever came to fruition was some sort of amalgam of all these ideas.
Yeah, but it's from what I can tell, it's Ian who probably had a lot of input on most everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's why I want to get in touch with him at some point.
No, you don't.
He'll be a power cut.
And
take credit for cereal, Pete.
It's bitter much, James?
Not at all. I'll shake him by the hand. Strangling him.
And we all know how James is with Filmation, the guy who has a lot of storyboard art and has all these really nifty images and sketches and whatever. With MyCam Productions, it's a bit more difficult to obtain that stuff. And but there is art. This is from the episode 4, The Courage of Adam. The He-Man robot has been sent to the fight the evil guys to distract them, and there's a note about the pupils would have been that there would be no pupils. It would have been just flashing eyes, and also here you see Triclops, who was not shown in the, because this actual image or the camera angle was not used in the final episode, so you never see that when He-Man confronts, he is faced with Beastman and Clawful and Whiplash, but you never see that Triclops is all like just hanging in the background waiting for his moment to strike. Earlier in the same episode, here's a comparison, not sure, well, it shows a bit better, that on the robot He-Man the eyes glow white, and that the glow is constant, not pulsing. And the final episode, you don't get anything. It's the storyboards make all of the scenes much more dramatic, and these are courtesy of Dave Bullock. He is a fantastic artist. I also did an interview, and which will be posted online. And this is from when during the episode the Doom Seekers are well, the one is attacking Panther. In storyboard art, when Panther strikes at the Doom Seeker, it streaks and breaks the Doom Seeker completely, and it just explodes. While in the final episode, it just got these weird scratches and got flying away, and then Panther was running after it. But originally it was supposed to be in these storyboards that Panther would have been just gnawing or clawing at the remains of this charred Doomseeker, and behind him would be coming these other Doomseekers and end up shooting at Panther. So they are very nasty buggers.
Sorry for the interruption. Schwarze Audi, ohne Kennzeichen. Ja. Kannst du ihn einmal eben da wegfahren? Bevor wir den Porsche zerkratzen.
Also here you can see the, not sure if this was a early concept for the Doomseeker, if they had not finalized the design or just using some design for the storyboarding itself. Here's a different view on it. It has this big eye with a pupil in it, I think. So this was during the episode also when Prince Adam is captured and the spikes are coming from the walls. In the storyboard, it is meant to be more menacing, that the spikes are actually tearing up his sleeves, and it's a real yes, Björn, your sleeves, the shirt, and it just makes so much better in storytelling. And then Trapjaw comes to yell at that He-Man has arrived, and Adam screams that, hey, then let me out of here, and the spike is still sticking from his jacket, but not in the animation. Probably some kid-friendly stuff going on there. There's a lot more action meant to be for that specific episode, as the robot He-Man is fighting the bad guys and gets blasted by Triclops. In the final episode, after this blast, he just flies away and is revealed to be the robot, but we get more scenes of just Triclops shooting the energy beam at him, and also Beastman attacking from high above and flinging his whip, which also has a mark that it's electrified, which is new to me, that Whiplash would have, and hit the robot He-Man square on the chest and just electrocute the heck out of him. And also at the same scene there would have been Clawful, who's you can't probably see here, and Evil Lynn, who would have been distracting the good guys as they were trying to make their escape before the actual battle with Skeletor and the big giant bone creature. There was a lot of action just going on there. Oh, I actually have the slides. So yeah, it was still going from here that the robot was getting more just very crucial beating, and from there it was revealed that it was a robot. And before Skeletor even makes, in the episode, he just brings the vehicle or whatever gadget that has the millions and millions of bones and that create the one big opponent, but actually it was supposed to be that Skeletor would have this gauntlet on his left arm that would create multiple spikes that he sent at the good guys in front of them, and from those daggers, lightning and red gel is coming out of them that would create these smaller bone creatures to attack the good guys. And this is just a lot of action went in before any of the big character, and it mostly was cut because of time limits, but seeing all this storyboard art is just fascinating, at least to me, and it's hopefully some people would also like it. James is very fascinated, yes. And the good guys would need there's a size difference that the bone creatures are maybe twice as big as Ram Man over here, and they do all this battle. During the battle, one of the creatures flings the axe, and Adam is thrown into the cave. And while he is in the cave, he transforms, and Man-at-Arms, Tila, and Ram Man. From the opening on the cliffside, the lightning is coming out, so they make a note that the good guys actually notice that, hey, there's some weird shit coming out of there, which is another one of those that how does the transformation look to the people looking on the outside. There's I think the lightning is used in Lessons episode, as Evelyn is looking from afar into the desert and you see lightning come from the sky, and in Last Stand, as Adam is in the abyss and Skeletor is about to go into the Grayskull, again lightning strikes. So also in that episode it's fun to note that Orko appears to hear when Adam says I have the power code. Orko makes the note that you may have it, but Skeletor is about to get it. But that's a tangent there. And He-Man would have actually emerged from the cliff all heroic, and there's a note of heavy rim lighting behind him, and music would be big resonating Kurosawa horns. So they were pushing for a lot of just epic material with this, and it went to the final episode pretty okay. Here's this is one of those that Frank Oftring, or Tilana, most of you may know from forums, noticed in the episode Mystery of Anwat Gar. In the Cartoon Network version, the sorceress had the glowing swirly energy on her wrist, but that was edited out in the final DVD. And this is also apparent in the model sheet for the sorceress in the black and white version. When it was colored, they took it out. But this is how the Four Horsemen version of it looks like. And it was supposed to be clear plastic that would have come with the sorceress figure itself. But when the character, I think she got pushed in the actual lineup of the figures, by the time they got to it, the line was ended. So we only got the Staction figure, and with that there was no added accessory, but this would have been part of the original idea from the Four Horsemen, that we would have gotten a clear plastic for the magic twirl around her. I have my sources.
I'm just curious because I've seen the actual toy prototype that they made and all the pieces cast, and there's nothing like that with it.
Yeah. I know.
Huh?
I know. Let's see if I have anything else. Here's the power of Grayskull is misspelled on the Mill Creek version.
Sorry.
But in the they got it right on the title menu, so I think those are all the images that I had for today.
Yeah, good job. Which is good because
Perfect time.
we have our time sort of out.
Well, thank you.
If you can wrap it up now.
Wrap it up.
Very important.
Sure.
You guys were a big help here.
When you need us, we're here.